My name is Ludmila Guerin, and I'm president of HR Association in Slovakia called HR PRO. And today we have with us Katerina Kovalevska, and she's head of HR PRO, which is kind of equal to the HR association like we have here in Slovakia in the perspective of the activities and the reasons and challenges what we are facing together. So, and we will be today hosting this 2-hour online e-meeting session with you. We have agreed with Katya that we will go by the flow. We have some information what we want to share, and we have some colleagues who I will shortly introduce here who are, I'm call them the people who we will be turning to and asking the questions. However, I also really ask our audience now today here that if you have any questions and if you want to get the answer, please write it in the chat. We will be happy to answer it. We will be also sharing with you the recording of that and the presentation we have prepared, which contains a really compiled data of the, let's say, Slovakia labor information around the labor law and all this we call it like a refugee part, which Slovakia is offering for our colleagues and people and friends and families to coming over to Slovakia and maybe considering to stay here with us and get employed or get their kids to school and stuff like that. So we will be all sharing. So Katja is here, I'm here. We will have also Angela Podubna. She is a partner in AMROP. AMROP is our member of the HR Com Association, and we thought it would be very valuable also to involve them as well to help from the perspective of what is the overview of the Ukrainian skill set and who we are dealing with the culture-wise. And Angela will be having short introduction to that. And as well, we will have here people like Katarina Feketova. She's coming from Tesco and she is lead people partner for Slovakia. Kindly, Natalia, can you put yourself on a mute? Lukasz, Natalia, because, thank you. If all of yourself can put yourself on a mute. Then we have here senior manager of business, HR business, Jaroslav Grigar, and he's coming from Whirlpool Corporation, which is based in eastern part of Slovakia, so which is good to have overview. If you look at the Slovakia, we will have a west representatives and east representatives. We will have here also Peter Križan. He is the CEO of the very successful here agency, recruitment and HR agency of named Personality, and they as well deliver the interim management and short-term interesting assignments. So, and they are also developing lots of different platforms and tools to support the people who are coming over here. So I'm happy that he will be here with us and he will be sharing this information and support what we can give it to you. And as well, the last person who I would like to introduce is Andrei Vershansky, and he's the managing director of our League of Mental Health, and they also are having interesting initiatives which we thought would be valuable for this online meeting to share with you. On the other hand, from the perspective of HR Com Association, we have guests here from different industries who are HR managers and HR directors in the area like utilities or in the area like hospitality. We have people representing from the FMCG sector, IT sector. So the variety of the people are here, and they are also happy to share their contact details later with you, ladies who are here on a call from the Ukrainian perspective, if you will want to get connected a little bit more. The most aim of this event is to really get to know the names, face, and possibilities that we are. Olga, kindly, can you put yourself on the mute? So in that perspective, I actually would like to just give now straight word to Katja, and we can start, right?
Exactly. Ludmila, thank you very much. Thank you for your really fast reaction and that we really very quickly were able to prepare that meetings, and your warm and friendly desire, I mean, just to help and just to to help us actually in such a situation. And what I really want to say that I love more word empower. And in such a situation, when we are care, all the Ukrainian, and especially the Ukrainian specialists and women in a big amount, and HR, it's a profession, there is a lot of ladies working, and we were pushed to left our country to protect our families and our kids, and it's really, really important that support, that help, that empowerment, and sharing the information. So I will switch on my presentation, and I'll do my best to be as quick as possible to leave for us as much time for the conversation and questions. Everybody to join us, please put your microphone on the mute. Anna, thank you. So I will start with a couple of words about Ukraine in general and the portrait of Ukraine specialists and member of our community. Okay, just a second. Yeah, let me introduce myself. My name is Katerina Kovalevska. I'm head of Ukrainian HR Association. We, as Ludmila said, doing almost the same things as almost every European associations are doing, and we are creating the global community. We're doing many different kind of events and conferences, workshops, studying programs, preparing our colleagues for certification. We are in partnership with American HR associations already 7 years. So just normal association. It was the normal life, and it was the normal activity, professional association. Okay, next one. Couple of things about Ukraine. I'm sure you know that we are a big country, and I wanted to show some main business activities. We were really strong in agriculture, and as you can see, our metallurgy was a big part of our business, and I think we are really famous as a IT industry, as our really strong IT industry and strong IT specialists. For sure, there is many other things like logistics. We had big ports in our country and many other things you can see from the numbers, but agriculture and IT and metallurgy, I'm really disappointed what's going on right now, because I mean, in Mariupol, for example, because the big part of the big plants was there. Let's see how we will deal later on with that. Okay, next. Okay. The numbers for yesterday. I'm sure you've seen the terrible pictures. There is a plenty of them, and it's really almost impossible to watch them. We have that numbers like 180 kids already killed. It's complicated to say, but all of us understand that numbers will be much bigger. It's just official number for now. 183 cities attacked, and many of them not just attacked, completely destroyed. And it's just official numbers, as you can see, and they're terrible. What kind of results the world can see from this? I mean, it's not just the problem of Ukraine. As you can see, we are on the wheat world export. I mean, it can it can bring us to really severe problem with food. And for sure, it's a problem primarily not for Europe, but for developed countries. But anyway, 55% is Ukrainian share on sunflowers oil world exports. We are number 3 in poultry meat export in UA. And about corn, we are number 4 in the world. And second things which we can remember and consider that it's environment problem as well. things that the military are doing at our land. It's not influence just us, it's influence environment all over the Europe. Okay. I should say a couple of words about Ukrainians. As you can see from the news and from the pictures and from just all the world, right now knows that we are really very caring. We don't leave our animals and just pets. You can see that Ukrainians arrive to your country with with the whole our families, and pets is a part of it. We are very practical, and it's our DNA, and we are extremely brave, and you can know, and we are creative, and it's a part of our just national characteristics. For sure, I can add many other things, but it's really the part of our DNA, Ukrainians. And it shows in our business activity as well, honestly speaking. So let's just a second. Let's move to Ukraine, to specialists, to Ukrainian specialists. As I think in the whole Europe, the number may be the same. We are primarily female profession. So 85% is ladies. With age difference, you can see that it's a young profession, and it's becoming more and more popular all over the world. So young people joining this profession in Ukraine as well. Some more numbers about it. I think this is really important. Almost all HRs has higher education, but the question is that it's primarily not in HR. So it's or psychology or any other actually education in management, in law, in any others, but some 20%, almost 20% have more than one education, higher education, and all the other stuff we catch or during the work or practicing, and some other courses, workshops, certification, and things like this. And that numbers, it's just, if to talk about our salaries, it's approximate. We can't say that it's really, but at least you can see some, it's minimum numbers, and it's really depend on the area. In the capital, as usual, salaries was higher, and it's just minimum numbers, just for you to see how it was before the war started in HR sphere in Ukraine. Previous year, we started, the association started the project. It was HR PRO Awards. And what is important, it's a focus of HR. So we can see from from our participants what was the main attention of HRs before war started. It was training and development. It was well-being and health, and I think it's the result of the COVID period, because the importance of this topic was growing, and recruitment. And as you can see, the HR analytics wasn't really very strong, developed till now. I don't know, maybe you can share after all what's going on in Slovakia in HR, but it was the things, it was the topics of the main focus of HR, not the main, but the big focus of HR. So when the war started, what's happened? For sure, the business needed some strategy changes, a lot of relocation, and it was the business relocation. And right now, business is considering how they can move some of their facilities to a more safe part of Ukraine. For sure, some lines of business and just direction was just stopped. part of the business considering new markets, and they moved to Europe. And
uwierz mi, naprawdę ciężko pracuję. Co teraz jakby? Nie, znaczy ja jestem na etapie. Tak.
well, okay. And the businesses who stayed in Ukraine did their best to focus on military needs. So we see plenty of examples how the business did their best to help the army in every possible way. Operational changes for sure, with all of these alarms, with all of this everyday changing reality. Now that city is bombarded, here we can move, here we can't move, here is our storages or working, opening or not opening. All of that was a big challenge for our business and for HRs as well, where people should go to work or they should stay at home. And you know, for example, if it's a chemical Ludmila, I think it's necessary to mute. Thank you. So the question is that if it's a chemical production and we have these alarms every 2 hours, it's really, really complicated to find a way to continue to work of this fabric. Just okay. Next. Oops, sorry. Oh my God, it's too sensitive. It looks like my computer is too sensitive. Sorry for this. Oops. What's happened with payment system? It looks like 63% of the large business. Again, we can see from the different research, and it's complicated to do any research in the wartime. And the numbers is changing from 63 to 85%. So the company is doing their best to pay salaries during that period of time, but not all of them has these capabilities. So part of the company stopped paying. Sorry. What HRs did during the especially first 2-3 weeks? For sure, it's relocation. And we can say that COVID prepared us somehow, but this time we relocate not just employees, but we relocate their families as well. We help to organize remote work. If before, when it was COVID, it was necessary just to send some PC just to our houses. Right now, it was necessary to find out how to send them abroad and what to do. The company who has the ability paid for accommodation. But as you can see, it's not a huge numbers, 23%. It's just the companies who was active enough. Big focus is psychological support. And I think that right now, all of us need to pay more attention to the topic of resilience and to psychological safety. Even I heard a lot, even from US, from colleagues from US, that right now this topic is growing and people worry about the Third World War, and especially people worry in Europe and especially the country who is on the board with us. So I think it's really important to protect, to help your employees as well. So what else company were doing? Of course, volunteering, and companies helped financially. Companies help with supplying the products, buying the medicine. As you can see, 35% support employees who defend the country. It's not the question of salary, it's some extra things the business are doing. We are buying I mean, just equipment, we are buying cars for, so, and it's just company doing, so it's not just sending the money to government. Okay, what we were discussing recently with our community, some lessons we learned and how to be more resilient, I mean, as a professional in such a world we are, I mean, just we are right now in a situation when any kind of things can happen with us, with our business, and with our employees. So what we can see and what we can say right now, that it's really important to be as more international as possible. It's about business and it's about our professional life and our own experience. So to visit more conferences, to be in a contact with colleagues from other countries, it's really helpful. So second, I mean, just to practice resilience. It's, again, I repeat, it's really, I think, really important things for businesses, for employees, for your own personality. Pay attention to this topic. And if to talk about us as HR professionals, I think we need to pay more attention to topic like critical thinking, and for it, and to develop this between our employees as well, because we can see how the propaganda can, I mean, just can destroy lives, honestly speaking. So risk management, it's a part of knowledge domain, which is usually inside the HR competency model, but I can't see that we paid a lot of attention to this topic before. And of course, to create a contingency plan. And none of us could imagine the pandemic time, and none of us could think about war. I mean, just that kind of war in the middle of Europe right now, just next to us, and or what's happened with us. So I think this is really the part of we need to pay attention and to focus in our work. I mean, just even if you are right now, you are in a safe environment and everything looks like stable and becoming better. I mean, after the COVID. But anyway, think about this. Discuss it with your discuss with your colleagues, with your management teams, and just think how to create even such a strange, I mean, contingency plan in case of war. I can say that in November, we met with Angela, who will be the next speaker at the big business event in Kiev with I mean, the strongest company. And I think it was the first time when we heard from the big stage that the war can happen. And we've seen, and Angela we discussed with Angela the topic that, you know, it's really pity and it's investment, if to talk about that topic right now, for sure we will increase the amount of investments coming to our countries and things like that. But later on we say, if such a things happen, what should we do? So it's better to be prepared and just think about this in advance. That's what I can share with you. Okay, what else? How we can support and just become stronger together. First of all, if you have some jobs for Ukrainians, there is different platforms and websites, not only your company websites, but special platforms for refugees. You can see them here. Job Match, Jobs for Ukraine, and just I think many of other different. Working on to remove bureaucracy for hiring. And I know that Europe is really famous for bureaucracy, and for sure it works, and it's maybe really helps you, but please think about this pre-employment forms, verification of documents, and the amount of interviews, all of that things. Think how you can change it. And for sure it will help not just refugees, I think, and your business in general. So maybe it's the reason right now to to work on it. To consider different approach to open position. I always say that remote work, part-time jobs, flexible working hours, it's very important for our women who are right now with kids, with all these problems, I mean, just with housing and just, no, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And anyway, it will be useful later on for more mature employees. So it's even not for the question of refugees and to help the Ukrainians, it's just to be more flexible and work with the talents. What else? Think about opening your resources to learn some new skills, new language. I mean, just for sure, all big companies has these training facilities for your employees. Just think maybe you can open something for people who need it. Mental health. I talked a lot about this for your own employees, for families, for refugees. Think about some kind of programs for mental health. We already talked a lot about mentorship. I love what different countries are doing in Poland. I've seen these initiatives in Bulgaria when family take another family and support them. The same we can do as a professionals. HR, you know your specific, the country specific. Take 1-2 specialists from Ukraine and who is now working and searching for a job and just start to live in Slovakia and just help them. Maybe just to answer easy questions, normal. For you, for sure, it will take maybe half an hour, but it's really important. Legal support and advice for newcomers and other things. If, for example, you're international companies and you have right now the employees of your companies who moved from Ukraine, just think about cash, some kind of support and things like this. The National Bank of Ukraine, you can donate directly. I can say that from the very beginning, I was asking people to donate to Red Cross. But later on, if you heard the news, it looks like Red Cross have a really good connection with Russia. And I was very badly disappointed. That's why I said, please don't donate to Red Cross, donate directly to Ukrainian National Bank or other local Ukrainian funds. It's really, I can share with you later the information about different funds. We know that they're okay. So it looks like that it should be the video right now, and okay. But maybe later on we will be able to show the video. Okay, no. Okay, we will do it. Just a second.
Katja says we have some technical problems, so maybe.
I don't know. I think it will take maybe 1 minute.
Okay.
Check. Sorry for such a horrible movie. I mean, but it's our reality right now. And it's really good that I think it's good that we don't have a sound, because in this case, I'm sure I won't be able to talk after all. So what I can say that for sure, all our specialists, not just HR, but any person who is right now in your country faced really serious trauma and serious, I really hope that none of us in the future will face such a things we Ukrainians face right now. So please understand that we are under the huge stress, understand that we are now for sure not so productive. And as you know, under such a stress, the cognitive things are we are not as good as we are right now. So please, when you interview our specialists, when you try to help, remember that we are under the incredible pressure, and we really need support, patience, and help. Really. Here it is. That's what I wanted to share with you, and just to say, sure, many of other specialists can share maybe some of their stories and some of their ideas how to survive in such a circumstances, and how to continue to be strong even facing such things. Ludmila.
Thank you, Katya, for this presentation.
Yeah.
It shall be.
Yeah. You know, I can see that here is some of our professionals, and just, you know, what I can say that for us, for those people who was able to escape from the very beginning, even for us, it's incredibly complicated. But I just could imagine how people who were staying in the basement are feeling themselves right now, and just how much time we will need to somehow recover and return them back to normal.
Well, I'm sorry, I apologize for the words.
Yeah, thank you for your humanity. You know, it's really important to be, just a normal person. And what makes me proud is that Ukrainians who right now is abroad searching for a job, wanted to work, ready to not just to sit down and wait till the situation will become better, but people really do their best to continue and just to help country, to volunteer, to support families who stayed till now in Ukraine, and we believe that we will win for sure.
I mean, I'm sorry, all of you, I didn't stay too professional. I just want to say that, you know, that kind of message shall be said and shall be seen. And of course, we are seeing it, you know, on the internet, and, you know, we can see these horrible pictures of what is happening. Then to have a people who you actually talk to is a bit different, you know, like yourself and your colleagues who are here on the chat. I just want to say that it's as professionals, you know, we need to be aware that, you know, this is really difficult situation, which, you know, you are now dealing and potentially all of us can deal with, you know, and if we can stay human as we are and help each other, you know, in the circumstances where we can, and, you know, as a people and as like human beings, and as well as us as professionals in the field, we are now from the HR perspective, or I have here my colleagues from the HR field, but, you know, in general, you know, it's about us, how we can help together each other, even in these situations, you know. And I know that we have Angela coming here now to say a couple words about a little bit highlight the skill set of Ukrainians. She has prepared the presentation about that, but I know it was a very strong presentation what you just showed us, but it was unfortunate reality of today's world, and we need to face it. We cannot hide it, and we cannot pretend that this is something which just is happening somewhere and does not touch us. So I apologize again to all of you that I wasn't very professional, but I'm just human being.
I think it's the most important part, to be the human first and after to be professional.
Angela, do we have you here?
Yes, hello all. First of all, thank you very much, Katerina Kovalevska. Thank you very much for being professional from head to toes and not only putting up the information that is consolidating all the data, which is very important to share, but as well to be able to right now, under these circumstances, expand the boundaries of Ukraine and look for the possibility to get professional connections and potential help outside of Ukraine. Thank you for that. And I really appreciate the help of Ladislava, my colleague in AMROP Slovakia, for bringing us together. And Ludmila, thank you for moderation and for the possibility to present. I really appreciate what Katya has presented, because that is covering the majority of what I would need to explain, and thus I have the possibility to concentrate on what is important of how we can help. This is the project which we called and APROP creating the opportunity, actually is the appearance of the support of all AMROP community to the members of, first of all, of AMROP team ourselves. I was in Ukraine until 13th of May, and I was considering myself quite safe enough in our house near Kiev until the shell has hit the house, and fortunately it hasn't exploded, and everyone survived. So I grabbed my two younger children, and we went to Berlin with the possibility to continue working within the AMROP family to help others. So how can we help? We believe that the platform of AMROP, which is the largest executive search company all around the world, we can help executives see the opportunity which Europe provides. Slovakia is the first platform where I present this project. We're still finalizing it, but it doesn't matter. We can fix things on the go. If you have this information, please pass it over to all the executives who know my partners all around the world, might help out providing the job opportunities in different countries of Europe. So we believe that the key competences of the Ukrainian executives, and as Katerina has mentioned as well, can be consolidated in this light. Innovative technology, digital transformation, change management, those competences characterize those who are related to IT business. There are only officially 200,000 IT specialists registered in Ukraine. So Ukraine is known for the ability to have an innovative thinking. Pro-European mindset, this is more about values. We have similar European values and intellectual stratum, so intellectual area in which we operate. People know English language, and that makes them easier to be working in those countries where English is popular and can be used in business. Multifunctional knowledge, due to lifetime learning, and the official number goes up to more than 70% of the population who have higher education, that makes Ukrainian executives multifunctional, let's say, with knowledge of many industries. Ability to go extra mile. This is not only about resistance, this is as well the ability to add value, try to add value for the time Ukrainians spent at work. And this is as well about some extra hours that go beyond without request for additional payment, with the ability to help more for the employer for whom Ukrainians are working together with. And entrepreneurial thinking. Some of the Ukrainian executives combine the structured approach because they have some international experience and as well out of the box thinking. That is due to the local business background, and the combination of both provides this entrepreneurial approach in business. As to the technical competencies, and if I can ask to transfer myself to the new slide. This is very much what Katerina was mentioning. Fourth in the world by the total value of natural resources. This is one of the characteristics of Ukraine, one of the main agricultural exporters, and one of the important industrialized players. So having seen those very specific and very unique characteristics, I think that industrial communities of many European countries can be particularly interested in those technical competences besides for the management and for the behavioral ones. Thank you. The next one, please. So what we thought, you have seen already many European startups, platforms which are offering jobs. Katerina was referring some, you might have heard of some Happy Mondays or Career Angels or others. And I try to post as much information as I can on my Facebook and LinkedIn profiles in order to share that. But at AMROP, we wanted to give the opportunity to those who are in exile, those who left the country, or those who cannot operate from Ukraine, but who cannot leave Ukraine as well, because men 18 throughout 60 cannot leave as they might be needed by the country to serve. And the second target audiences happen to be our clients. Some of the clients are not able to continue their businesses. 70% of businesses in Ukraine are officially right now considered to be blocked, not operating. And some of the clients are looking for partners, for suppliers as well in Ukraine in order to be able to proceed. So we approach the situation from two sides. First, providing the opportunity for executives to find the job, either remotely if they cannot leave the job, or physically working in one of the countries in Europe, and at the same time putting together clients towards their potential suppliers or towards the potential companies where they can outplace their employees. We even have such requests. So besides for the generic scope of opportunities that those startup platforms are offering, we're doing same, plus our partners across the world are talking to their clients and to their new businesses, and they're requesting the possibility to consider Ukrainian candidates among other candidates. some of the clients are willingly doing that, and right now, for example, I'm considering 2 top executive vacancies for Polish market, and we really would appreciate if the amount of the countries who jump in grows, and that there is an opportunity, and I stress on the word opportunity, right? We're not committed to guaranteeing something. This is the opportunity which the person definitely can take, but this opportunity exists for executives among our clients of AMROP and among potential new business as well. The partners of AMROP are committed to talk to the potential candidates with regards to the landscape of this or that specific country, with regards to specifics of the job interview processes with these or those clients. And this has been done on the level of the partners, which has very high value. We're right now approaching many organizations, and it's very good that Katerina's platform has happened to be one of the first as well, so that we can share this opportunity among the executives. Does this mean that we cannot help non-executives? Well, we can. We're just focusing on executives. With regards to non-executive businesses, we will be as well willing to promote those opportunities, but one should understand the specifics of AMROP itself. We hope this will help expanding the ability for Ukrainians to apply very highly developed competences to add value with what we can do, and actually can help the economics of many countries that we can have interaction with. We're open to any other ideas, and if we're discussing that afterwards, I'm open to any ideas of yours how else AMROP Executive Search or other executive search companies which we're in contact with can help either your market, similar markets, or Ukrainians on the other side, or Ukrainian clientele. You're open to submit your comments either directly right now, or via the organizers, or via Ludmila, or via Katerina, whom you know. We would really appreciate your comments on that, and let that opportunity be used for those who are in need.
Thank you, Angela, very much, really, for this kind of short but very valuable information about the platform or initiatives you are guys doing. And I guess now for our Ukrainian part of the people who are here, I will tell a little bit something about the our HR association and basic macroeconomics information about the Slovakia. And as well, in the meantime, who we have here and is interested to ask any questions, please do ask, interrupt me. And I have also my colleagues here who I told you, Andre, Peter, Katerina, and Yaro, who are here with me to help to answer. I mean, if we would be sitting in a cafe place, it would be easier to network together. So in this case, I'll be the one who will be picking up who is answering in that perspective, just to have. But really, the guys, I mean, please ask the questions, and also our members, Slovak members, if you have any question, would you like to ask back to Katya, Angela, or your colleagues who are your basically professionals on the side of Ukraine, anything you would like to share, we have a chat for it, okay? So let's just kind of get in touch together while I will be talking. So Andrea, if I may ask you to put the presentation on, and I will just run through the presentation to have enough time to have a discussion. I promise you I will share this presentation with Katya, so you will receive it. If you will want to, you will get it. If Katya will decide not to share with you, please come to me, find me through the LinkedIn, and I will share with you for sure, okay? So basically, just a very quick overview who we are as HR Association. By the way, we are really long years here, 28 years in Slovakia. We have a history, and we currently have 144 members. By members, we understand the corporate and small medium business companies who are represented on as members through their HR managers and directors. So I'm very glad that, and I'm proud very much to be a president of this association, given its history, given its very good name in Slovakia, and it's only the professional association in Slovakia for now. So, and I'm happy that we have such a great members and team members who are here today to be with us. I mean, I'm just thankful that you guys are here. And as I said, and this the reason why we're here is to create a space for exchange of experience and successful projects through the conferences, workshops, and professional seminars. And I would like to add that also to work together, like we are, and combining the communities of the from the different territories, different countries together. And we are also proud that we are a member of European Association for People Management, which gives us the very good overview what is happening in the other territories, who are the key contacts over there in other territories. So again, something where we can, Katja, if needed, get connected. It's a big database. We have regular monthly calls with people representative from the whole Europe. And, also part of it is CIPD. As you might know, CIPD is Certified Institute for Professional Development. It's a very well-known UK organization, and they are part of this association as well. So we are in touch, and actually really on a every month basis, we have a regular calls together. So again, something which we will be able to connect our members and your members together. If we will go to another slide, please, Andrejka. Just as the people we have today here. So as you guys, ladies, see, I got the three guys here, which is not that common, even though they are not HR as HR only purely, but Peter is the CEO and Andre is managing director of the League for Mental Health, which we cooperate with. And Yaroslav is our board member on HR Common, as well as senior manager for HR in a Whirlpool Corporation. So I got the three boys. So we have now the statistic, could be 100% ladies, but now we have more men here, so I'm glad. And as well, we have a Katarina Feketova. She is lead partner from Tesco. Tesco is one of the biggest employers here in Slovakia, and they already have a lot of colleagues, also from Ukraine and other territories as well. And she is experienced or has the programs which she will be able to share with us. So for me, Katarina is this west part of Slovakia, if you can imagine, closer to the Austria, and Yaroslav is east part of Slovakia, closer to the Ukraine border. So that's why we just wanted to have the perspective of the both. And as I said, Peter is a CEO of Personality, so the very successful headhunting company, which provides also the interim management, and Andreas, the League for Mental Health, which was part of your Katja's presentation, which I was glad to see that you consider this as crucial as I do. And we didn't even agree that we had the same thoughts, so I'm very happy to have them. If we go to the couple slides, and if I speak too fast, just stop me, but please do ask. Andrejka? Just for you to understand, when I was talking east and west, so if you look at the Bratislava and you look at the Košice, so these are the two largest cities. Bratislava is the capital, so it's west part, and Košice is the east part of Slovakia. And then we have a large cities where we have the possibility of the employment, and lots of companies representing in this region. So we're talking about Bratislava as the west part, with Trenčín, Trnava, and Nitra, and then we're going up to the Žilina, which is a large town. I mean, city is a very strong word. And then we're talking about Banská Bystrica, Poprad, and Košice. So these are the areas where, as you can see from the border perspective, most of our friends from Ukraine are coming through the Michalovce and getting to the Košice, and then either they're moving to the west part and decide to stay in Slovakia, or they go to Austria and Czech Republic through us. Yeah, so this is how it looks, and we just wanted to give you the overview of how the territory looks like. And thank God, as you can see, the females live longer here than the males. So I was just laughing when I saw that life expectancy slide, and I said, like, why not? I mean, let's leave it here. So we're keeping strong in here, and the literacy, as you can see, the survey is universal 18 years. If we go to another slide, I just wanted to show you as well that if you're considering to maybe move somewhere, how we look at from the perspective of the labor cost in Europe and where do we stand. So this shows us that it's from 2021. I'm sorry, it was not updated. We are somewhere here as a third lowest labor cost in Europe. And you can see on the right side here, sorry, how much is social security, healthcare in total. This is just, as you are professionals, HR professionals, I thought that those numbers shall be correct. And Andreas tried to, kind of trick me here and put the May 2021, but unemployment rate in May 20, or in April 2022 is 709. So basically nearly the same it was last year. So it's quite significant in that perspective, but labor market is quite tough in a perspective that employers are looking for the expertise and skill set, to employ the people. So again, possibility to have good expertise, speaking the languages, having good education could be, I mean, absolutely valuable also to our market. So from the eyes of yours, I mean, I'm not saying that we have lots of jobs in area of HR open, but yes, we do value and we do need people with the expertise and the skills which you both ladies presented as well from your side, that somehow we meet. And we also have a big agriculture here, which is not doing very well, like compared to your territory, but the skill set and this kind of in the utilities, in the energy, in the heating and stuff like that is very as well important, and as well in the shared service centers, which I'll go further on the slide. And, this is we just put the average labor cost and average kind of how we look from the perspective of the wages and salaries. Of course, as you Katerina mentioned, we're talking different when we are talking of the west part of Slovakia, where it's Bratislava, capital city. The salaries itself, it's like, just imagine city within the city. So Bratislava is really salary wise different to compare to the other regions as well, a bit higher. I'm not saying extremely higher, but yes, given that it's a capital city, also higher costs of living are here, higher rentals, of course, and everything is a bit higher here. Compare if I go to Košice or Prešov or Poprad, from that perspective. But still, I believe that we could be competitive and interesting from the perspective of the Ukrainians to join our market. And as well, I just wanted to share with you that we are really, from the perspective of the, as a country as we are, so we are a manufacturing automotive country. On second hand, we are shared service country. And why I'm mentioning shared service centers, we have 65 of them, which is, if we are 5 million country, which is one of your city, so this is all our country, it's pretty a lot of shared service centers what we have here, and these are global shared service centers, which nearly 40,000 employees are basically working there. And what I want to say is that we have lots of foreigners here in those shared service centers where the Slovak language is not mandatory or not required, which I believe is also good point to say. Majority of them are, as you said, I mean, we really have in those centers university education. It's kind of let's say mandatory, and English language as a key part. So if you speak good English or enough good English, there's also a possibility to find a job without knowing the Slovak. On the other hand, I mean, I used to live in Kiev for 2 years personally, and I learned Ukrainian in the 3 months, because we have very close language to the Slovak language. So I mean, this is nothing like you going really to Finland or to Hungary, where you can't pick up nearly any word. But with us, I believe, and culturally, I believe we are very close. So even though if you do not speak Slovak, as you think, you know, in a level, I would not be that worried that if you decide to stay here longer, that it would be such an obstacle for you to go to the, you know, shop or, you know, order food or go to the bank, that it would be a major issue that people will not understand you. We have to really have a similar kind of language. That's my perception, personal perception, given that I was living in Kyiv. And as you can see, our personal income tax is 90 to 25%. So another slide we want to share with you, that I will share, and I send you, Katya, very basic. I don't want to go through the whole details, but when you were mentioned through your presentation that we are EU admin bureaucracy country, absolutely, you know, there is no doubts about that, but I don't know what happened, but something happened as well in Slovakia. Something good happened in Slovakia, and we somehow managed to, you know, some processes kind of speed up, unfortunately, to the cases as they are, and we are making the life of the people who are coming from Ukraine to us slightly easier on the paperwork and bureaucracy. Still a lot of things to do. I'm not saying that it is easy peasy, but I mean, still we do have. So I mean, the best for us, if we want to stay in Slovakia, is that we have now the easiest part. It is if you apply for temporary refugee status, that means the protection from fleeing from war, and it's you know, our foreign policy department is really open non-stop now, and only for the people. Majority, I mean, focus on the people who are, I mean, refugees, yeah. And so we really, I mean, it's still a long time to go, but some things are getting faster, and now people can start to, you know, without the papers, because they don't have the passport. As you can read, it's free, visa-free regime. You know, if you don't have a biometric passport and you have anything, you will get there. So it is not that that problematic from the perspective of the employment. If we're talking, if we can see another slide, Andrea, then you know, then you can see that we are granted, you know, as a Slovakia refugee, make the declarations, you know, as you, I don't want to read everything, but basically you are given the shelter, you can stay with us, you will get financial support, you will have from the state, you can, you know, how you say, register yourself under different, you know, platforms what we have here, and get yourself, you know, proof of accommodation. From the employer perspective, you know, employment law is a little bit better for us. It's called Lex Ukraine, and it's basically helping Slovak employers to employ the refugees under the different statuses. Still, of course, the things has to be done in order. However, if I remember in the past, if you wanted to come to work in Slovakia, you need to bring all the documents from the day you were born through the certificate game, and everything has to be apostille and, you know, proof in the Ukrainian offices and everything. This is now slightly, you know, better, and given the fact that it is as it is, yeah. So it's much easier now to get employed than it was. Still, you know, to find a job, still to meet the requirements and everything. It stays within the employer and their decision how to do it. If you go another slide, so you can see that who can apply, and of course, so family members. Foreigners who are not citizens but yet permanent residents of Ukraine. So you have also in Ukraine people who are not Ukrainian, and they are also fleeing out. So, and who is a family member? So of course, spouse, child, parent, and we understand that we have a majority here, the women with the kids coming. I read today in the news that we already have, which I believe is positive information, over 6,500 kids in the Slovak schools already. Which, I mean, I'm not happy to say the number from the perspective why they are here, but I'm happy to say the number that we managed to put the kids, and you know, and they are in the system, and we have you know, Ukrainian teachers are helping to get kids around, and so it's really, I mean, I'm trying to say that we are a country of lots of faults, but we are also a country who has still good people here and plenty of them, and companies who are really helping through the different platforms, through the different donations, through the different activities, tons of them, which you can see. We, like the Polish people, when you look what they do, we do it as well. We're just a smaller nation, so maybe from that perspective, we're not full of the news, but I'm very proud what Slovakia is, as Slovak colleagues, especially the colleagues who I have here, are really doing from the own personal perspective and as well company perspective. Do we have another slide, Andrea, there? So this is, as I was mentioning, the work in Slovakia. So you can work once you have the temporary refugee status. That's very important. And I apologize for the incorrect English here. And basically, you cannot, unfortunately, run a business here or be self-employed. So you need to be employed. Yeah, and you need to get and then employer is helping you to get the papers done, but it is easier from the perspective of work permit than to finding the shelter, place to live. By shelter I mean the apartment or house, and as well the kids, smaller kids are allowed, and they are not prioritized, but in a way yes, to to attend the schools. There are lots of schools here also which are not public, but they are private. And to my knowledge, most of them are offering the free education to the kids who were part of the that school in the Ukraine. So, for example, I know about the British school. So if kids attended in the Ukraine, Kiev British school there, they can, and family decides to move here, they can attend the school without the fee. The same is happening for the French school. The same is happening for the really other schools which had the subsidiary, or let's say another school in the Ukraine, which I believe are very important if you want your child to, of course, which you want to continue the education in the school they were used to. And I'm glad that this is happening, and also that the private schools decided, because they are not forced by the government to do so. So this is another, I believe, valuable information. And I already mentioned the schooling, so this is important. And as I said, the language barrier is not that big. I mean, we have a family at home who has 2 kids, and boys second week in the school and already understanding and found the friends. So, I mean, kids are so adaptable, and I don't want to stress how easy it is. I just want to kind of positively say that I believe that, even that part, because you are mostly mother here, or who are coming here are mothers here with the family, that this is fine here in that perspective. And I'm hoping that it will just be temporary, and you will be able to come back to your home and to your country. But for now, I believe that we are trying really from that perspective, making or trying to make your life a little bit slightly easier, even though I cannot imagine how, what you're going through as such. I believe that was last slide, or, healthcare and accommodation. So as you can, ladies read, and gentlemen, it's mandatory that anybody who is here under the refugee will be somehow covered with the basic need of the medical care. So don't worry. I mean, this is still covered. It is sufficient that if you just prove that you are applicant of the temporary refugee status, and you will be granted the the kind of basic healthcare, needed healthcare treatment. And as well, if you you are employed, your employer is paying, that's mandatory to paying to the national healthcare system, and there's a protection from that as well. So this is good. I mean, because I believe it's very important to have a healthcare. That's why we put it here on the slide. And in regards, this is the information more in Slovak, just for you to know. If we accommodate somebody, the state is offering, some contribution to the Slovaks who are, sharing their house with the refugees. So we just have some money. We're getting some money for that, and usually, at least the people around me who are doing that, and they apply for that, they're sharing basically those. They're giving those money what they get back to buying the kiddos some toys and something like that. So in that perspective, I mean, this is just, and also lots of our state and private hotels are offering for free accommodation. Really, there are lots of places who are part of that, and we will share with you the websites and links which are trustworthy, and you can go, because I can imagine you receive a lot of information there. Everything is on the internet. Not probably everything is clear and with the intention to help. That would be, unfortunately, this is the world we're living in. So that's why we selected a few web pages, and there are many, many more, which we trust that they are the ones who you can really turn to and have a look. And plus, you have us here now, the old people who just joined the call, and the majority of them agreed to share the contacts. So if you want to, we can get in touch later after this event. That's okay. And we have a free transfer of the Slovak railway company. So as you can imagine, bus transfer as well. So I mean, this is good. And a person who applied, and yeah, thank you. No, you can go, Andrejka. And this is the information for citizens of Ukraine. So we have, of course, here the information with it's based on Ukrainian information, and as well we will have a few other websites sharing with you. And this is where you can find them. Yeah. So this will be giving you how to cross the borders, advice about the animals, everything like you just said. You know, caring. We are caring as well, and we like animals as well. So this is also our part, which we are happy to. And of course, not all of you will want to, or not all of our friends want to stay in Slovakia and move further. So this is also, you know, how to get somewhere else, where are the consulate, how to speak and find out. Lots of our websites are as well translated to the Ukrainian language. So it's easy to comprehend and work with. So I believe, yeah, and this is what we'll share with you. I don't need to speak about these classic numbers, which you need to have. Important contacts in Slovakia. So, and otherwise, I think that my speech was quite long, and I would like to have now time for all of us to discuss and ask the questions, even us as a Slovak, as I say, or even you guys from the Ukrainian part. Please do shoot. This is why we are here today. Not to present how great HR Association is or anything like that. It's just rather just here to work together and meet each other. So do we have any question coming in? Katja, you would need to help me if you don't have, if your colleagues won't have a question.
You know, thank you very much. It's, you know, it really looks like this language, I understand, I agree with you. I think your language is one of the easiest for us to understand and learn, and maybe Polish is the second. I mean, just to compare, it's just two very comfortable languages for us. And what else? I wanted to ask about the papers and legislation. For example, if we talk about HRs, usually, what kind of papers are you looking for when you interviewing person or thinking to take that? Okay, of course, education, I understand, of course, previous experience, but maybe something else you are just checking and looking when you are just considering the person to some particular HR job.
Yeah, well, who wants, I don't want to answer because I will again speak in me. So, I mean, I can pick up anybody from the HR here, but I can't see the name.
I can answer. Okay.
Yes, please.
I will first, thank you. So, hi, thank you for managing this meeting. The first, I would like to say that thank you for sharing, Katja, thank you for sharing this information and emotions. It was really, really hard. I saw some people that are crying here during the video and your speech. So thank you very much. I just want to make sure that if we can support you or help you, we will do it. We are people like you, okay? Now, your question, what we need for interview is a similar, I think it's a similar market. So what we need is like CV or resume, some information about the education, some maybe references, if this could be inside would be great. And there are also online interviews in our clients or in our market. And maybe I should start with my introduction. I'm Peter. I'm responsible for, we are partner for external companies for recruitment and headhunting services in 3 cities in Czechoslovakia, Bratislava, Nitra, and Prague. And we are focusing on executive managerial position or also marketing, finance as well. So what we need is the same like in other countries. That this business is very similar. This, from my point of view.
Okay, I have a couple of more questions if I can ask. Okay, there's the normal salary level for recruiters, not IT, because usually it's different part of the world. But if it's, for example, recruiters in your I mean, just in recruitment company, in recruitment agency, what is the basic or just or how it's organized, the payment, if you can share this information just for us to understand the, I mean, just some, I mean,
Okay,
just,
I understand.
yeah, some limits.
This question to me. So if you mean payment, our clients are the companies, so we do an invoice to our clients, to the companies, not for the people. So like employees, they don't pay. There's employer, they're paying for this kind of services. So usually it's everything for free. If you will have some services and they would like to take some money from you or from your friends, it's not good. So there's a lot of companies they're working for candidates, of course, for free. It's like that.
No, I was asking about salary level for recruiters. For example, if I wanted to become a recruiter in some company, because, for example, in Ukraine, that was usually the difference. If I'm working for recruitment agency and I'm a recruiter, this is one salary. If I'm going to in-house and become to work a recruiter in some international or good local companies, what can be the level of salary? Okay. Now I understood. Very practical question. Sorry for this, but at least for us to understand the reality. Yeah, it's different because the country is quite large, not large, but there's differences between Bratislava and Košice. So in general, it's very complicated to say, but in general, when you're working for external company, like for recruitment or headhunting company, there is a fixed salary, which is from 1,500 to 2,500, like in general, and there is also bonuses for the business. If you are working for companies like in-house, internal recruiter, I think there is from like experience, some with 3-5 years experience and more, from 2,000 to I think for HR director to 5,000-6,000, I think. Okay, thank you very much. Important, yeah. When we are talking, about international companies, it could be different because it's different if you are working in Slovak market or an international company, of course. But in general, it's like that. In small cities, it could be lower a little bit, of course.
Can I just ask, Katarina? You asked for recruiters job as such, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can give you examples from then. I'm Andrea. I'm working for Heineken, which is a beer brewer, you may know. And yeah, it really depends from the region, like Peter mentioned. And it also really depends from the seniority of the position. So it can basically be quite a high range of or bigger range of the salaries. It can actually start with 1,300 for a junior recruiter, and then probably end with some 2,000 for a very senior recruiter. And then basically the people move to HR business partnering jobs. So, and that's then usually a bit more money. So I would say the range is like this. Now speaking for multinationals, and if some of my colleagues can also include it, I think I'm pretty in the range you pay as well. Okay, thank you.
And of course, maybe one practical thing or advice to add that actually in Slovakia it's mandatory to stay the salary. So actually, if you open, let's say, the biggest job portal, Profesia, and you would filter, and now even you can find there like flagged with like the jobs which are suitable for Ukrainians, then you would see and you can check the salary there, because in Slovakia, on each and every advertisement, you need to have salary stated. So it's a very practical thing to check for you guys. And what is stated there, this is something which is mandatory, and if you are a successful candidate, you actually will get that salary which was stated on ad.
Mhm.
And there's one important question. If you are talking about the gross or net salary, it's very important. I was talking about the brutto salary, so it means not netto salary. It's very little bit complicated the system of the wages. So we are talking about the brutto salaries, and it's like minus 23%. It's like it's netto salary in Slovakia, but this is quite different in the European Union.
Yeah, because for Switzerland it's minus 48 or something like this. I think some is, yeah, I got it.
For you or for any of your colleagues from the Ukrainian part here, is there by chance within HR PRO any knowledge of up-to-date information about English-speaking Ukrainian coaches, individual team coaches staying or trying to find assignments in Slovakia?
And I added to this question if the job should be online or really the person is required to stay in Slovakia.
Hello,
Can the job
everyone.
be done
It was my question, Sandra Lichvarova from Mencken and Partners. Hi there. I was basically talking about both cases. We already do have information about one person that is looking for kind of a job, and we of course do have some I would say requests for English-speaking coaches. So I'm just trying to find the way how to put this opportunity together. But currently, this particular need is on personal coaching or for personal coaching. So I cannot say in general, but I would say that it is possible both ways. Of course, the online, if it's purely online, it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So if anyone would have any type of information like this, we would very much appreciate to obtain that information.
Sure, we can share it in our social media platforms for sure. We will do it.
Thank you very much.
Maybe I can come in on the discussion now from the League for Mental Health, and what we are trying to do is aggregate everybody who has experience and education in psychosocial support. So psychologists, psychiatrists, coaches, trainers who are able to provide any kind of mental health services and do speak Ukrainian or are coming from Ukraine. We are trying to gather all the information to one place, and we have a higher day coordinator for Kharkiv who gets in touch with each and everyone who fills out the form, and we are distributing those people to the places where the chance for employment is relatively high. One of those places is our organization, because we have opened a mental health helpline. So we are hiring Ukrainian psychologists to pick up phones at the helpline. It's a mental health helpline. So if anybody has trauma problems or any kind of mental health issues, there are Ukrainians who either have already been in Slovakia or are coming to Slovakia right now. And we are hiring them so they can provide the assistance in Ukrainian language. That's the one thing. The other thing is we are also searching for top experts in psychology, because with International Organization for Migration, we created a project which allows us to hire them immediately, because we don't want them to be lost in the system and doing jobs that they are not qualified for, like low value added jobs. And these people will be training other less skilled Ukrainians to provide psychosocial support to other incoming citizens of Ukraine, because of course the trauma is there, and the problems related with trauma will burst out later on when people are stabilized and settled and have the time to think about the mental health. They don't really have the time to do that right now. So there's a second place, and there's a third group of mental health professionals who are less skilled. We will train those with our top experts coming from Ukraine. The top experts are the people who have real experience with working with refugees, usually coming from Kharkiv region, because from the Donbas region, 100,000 people have fled to the eastern Ukraine, and basically they know everything. We know nothing about this problem, and they know everything. So we are learning from them, and we are using their experience. And so the third group, less skilled psychologists, maybe coaches, or these kind of people with some kind of psychological background, will be then promoted to companies, NGOs, institutions who are able to hire maybe one or half-time employee, and maybe share this kind of person, and we will provide supervision for them to enable them to work with others. So this is basically what we do. I can share the link. It's in Ukrainian. So if anybody is coming to Slovakia and has this kind of education, we are really trying our best to either hire them immediately or to look for their jobs and provide them with training. The salary there is the NGO kind of salary. So we're talking about something like the average in Slovakia, which is something like 1,000 euro net. So that's basically where it is right now.
Andrew, there is a really interesting project I checked today. I've seen it today. Bulgaria is doing something like you are doing right now. They are having a camp, and they prepare the specialists during 1 month. They even decided to collect the people together, and they are staying 1 hour away from Sofia with their families, and people who has this psychological or social education, they are trained to provide that kind of help. And what they say, that they need people who speak Ukrainian and who has the Ukrainian culture and that background we already, all of us had during this period. And they do that kind of things, and I can maybe connect you with them. Maybe it can be something just some interesting, because they invite some specialists who help to train as well, and just to help to prepare that people to do such a job. So we can be connected, and maybe it can be interesting for you as well. Maybe.
Yeah, sure. I'll be thankful for that. We are also connected with the NGOs in Romania and Poland and Hungary. There's an association of NGOs like us, and the thing is that in real life it's not that easy to find the job suitable for your qualification if you need money right away. So, and everybody needs money, because there's a situation, of course, Slovak Republic and the officials know it is a very bad idea to accumulate large numbers of people into one facility. That's something like institutionalization. It's a terrible word, I cannot even pronounce it. But of course, this is the reality. So there are facilities with like 800 people at one place. So we have to break them, we have to dissolve them, but until the official institutions are able to do that, we need to provide the psychosocial support there, because if you have large numbers of people, even 20 people in one facility, that's a great risk, because that's where this never works, right? So there's the aggression, and people are tired, and it's not a good setup. So we need to take care of those, and these are the places where the psychologists I'm talking about, apart from our helpline, will be placed primarily, because that's the top priority, and everything else is less urgent.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Maybe other questions from Angela. Maybe you have some questions.
Yeah, I wanted to support your question and understand why you asked about the recruitment position, because normally out of all HR functions, and if we're talking about HR community here, recruitment would be the easiest one for the HR of any level to do without knowing the specifics of the local legislation, without knowing the specifics of the market. Recruitment would be the easiest one. So my question would be, how would you, dear colleagues from Slovakia, describe your market? Is it easy to find candidates via LinkedIn, or what are potentially other channels to look for the candidates? Are the candidates willing to change their jobs if there is a need? So how difficult might the life of the recruiter be in Slovakia?
I will just call out two names. I would like to hear Jaro's name as answer, and maybe Peter, back to you then.
Okay, hello, this is Jaro Brigad from Virpool, from Poprad. It's actually northeast of Slovakia. It's only 190 kilometers to the border. We see quite increasing demand also from the Ukrainians for jobs in our industry, in the industrial park of, let's say I can call it also within the East Slovakia, which is also great momentum for us, because there is a need for the specialists and specialized technicians, engineers, that we are lacking on the market. So it means that if we fill this gap, it can bring us also great competitive advantage to the future, because this is the basically a lack of the on the labor market. But also for the, let's say, for the industry as the operators on the line and so on. Of course, we have a seasonalities, and we see the decreasing demand in general, right? So we see the also quite difficult situation on the market, especially in the operator jobs in the surrounding companies. But I see already Ukrainians employed in our sub-suppliers, also in the other companies, which is great momentum. So we are really open to bring on board, especially the engineers, as I mentioned. And when it comes to the onboarding process, I can say for Virpool, we have 3 sites also in Poland, manufacturing sites, where, let's say, 1/3 of the employees are already Ukrainian. So we have this experience, and I think we can just take the best practice from there. And I see also, again, increasing trend from the, let's say, other industries. They will be more than happy to employ the, let's say, candidates from Ukraine as well. So we have the channels. Now we are focusing on the support in need, so different kind of supports from volunteering. So especially for the people in the need. And we are expecting, let's say, and we will be more than happy to welcome on board new specialists and engineers from R&D, from any kind of fields. It will be also, again, big gains for our labor market in general.
And if we're talking about the recruitment, like position for the HR people, like how easy it is to find. I'm not talking about Virpool, but let's call it from your area of your colleagues over there. If we're talking about the HR jobs. So yeah. How easy or how difficult, especially recruitment, as it was mentioned?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the company. Of course, the salary level is lower than that was mentioned, so it's based on the regional differences. So we can really round it to 1,200 and above. So slight lower salaries, but we see the increasing trend of the HR functions in general, especially around Košice area, which is even closer to the Ukrainian border. So from my standpoint, what I basically know that. This will be also good possibility to get, let's say, the specialists. And I think what is also good practice and also advantage, the English language, right? Where we have the international companies, they require the English, and what's called global or shared service centers that in Košice, it's quite increasing trend to build up new function, especially from the HR standpoint.
Peter, would you like to add something to this? Peter.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, I said Peter.
Okay. Peter, okay.
As I told you, we are like external partner for the company, so we are very limited.
But the knowledge of the market, or rather, in fact, not to your company, but how difficult or how easy is to find an HR job, let's say, on the west part of Slovakia? That was the question.
Okay, I understand. So in general, there is a lot of good people on the market, but it's always harder to find them. There's more databases. Everybody uses the same social networks. So there are also good or great people or suitable candidates on the market, but it's harder to find them. But it's I think this market is quite good because we are also doing job in west part of the USA and also in the Emirates, and the market there is so competitive, it's so hard, so complicated. So right now we have in Central Europe very good position. I think we can be okay with that. So
anybody from the audience want to add something to this? I don't want to name you out, I just want to give you opportunity. Okay, do we have any question from our side or Ukrainian side for us?
I have a comment to Yara and to other specialists who are looking for particular candidates. Please send over your briefs. We will post them all over Facebook and LinkedIn so that you have the opportunity for those who is looking for the job and have possibility to move to Slovakia to do that.
Thank you, Angela. That's very kind. Thank you.
Yeah. A couple of questions. Tell me, please, when it's, I mean, just as I got it, to become a member of association, it's the company are the members of association. But if, for example, I want to visit I'm in Slovakia and I want to visit some events, or just when the main events happen, where can I find the information about some community activity?
We're talking especially on HR area, yeah? Okay. So you wouldn't believe when we had the pandemic here. So for 2 years, we were having all the events online, yeah? And usually before that, or now coming back to the life, I would say that they are happening in the spring and then in September and October. These are the months where the majority of the events happening. So it's like, I would say April, May, and then September and October. These are the months where the summer is dead, like from the perspective of the events on the HR, as you can imagine. And I mean, how trivial it sounds now to say to you because of the holiday, because I mean, it's stupid to say, but apologies for that. But yeah, summer is more about the holiday, and then that it is so, I mean, even us like HR comp is having now a big event in May and then in September and October. So and other like companies who are dealing with the HR topic are usually around these times as well. So the major either come for spring or in autumn.
Okay.
May for a second, when we are talking about the opportunities in Slovak market, we have a special page for that. I will share it to the chat, the web page. This web page is Ukrainian language and also in Slovak language, and there is a possibility to share CV, and this CV we are going to our partners, our clients, and it's for free to share this CV and the people and making an interview, organizing interviews. So I will share the link here to the chat right now for everybody, okay? You can register there. It's easy way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For sure, I will repeat what I said before. If you have any vacancies for Ukrainians, HR specialists, please share it with us as well. We can and maybe I can directly recommend somebody to this position. So because of our
I'm hoping that we will stay in touch in general, and at least the minimum people who are here on the chat. I already received a LinkedIn invitation, and thank you guys for staying in touch with us. So for that, I mean, that was the point. That was like of this event, yeah. So it was to a little bit introduce ourselves as a communities and get to know the names and the faces. And I'm really happy that we are here. And like if anybody wants to share some interesting information which is valid for the audience, I mean, please do say so. I mean, this is the platform now. And otherwise, or ask the questions. I mean, it's really, I don't know if you Anna Maria or I just read Lubomira or Andriy Stechenko. Anybody, I'm just reading the names. Irina, if you have anything would you like to share, I mean, please do so. We're happy to say.
Hey guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for your humanity. Thank you for your desire to support. And, you know, it's really, I feel that it was a very warm meeting. It's like Ludmila said, it's like we sit down in a cafe and just look at each other's eyes and just thank you. It's really important. And we are as people should support each other and just be stronger. And just I really believe that the light should really be stronger than this darkness next to us. And just
I agree. And I think that we need to stay mentally well, really. And I wish you all to stay mentally well, and, you know, we can help you. And please do reach out. I mean, let's just consider that you found new professional friends today here on the chat, and all the ladies and gentlemen from the Slovak side which are here, they came here because they knew that you're here, and you can approach them if you want to with the questions or anything you will have. So, I mean, that was online cafe event, and I'm glad that it happened, very glad. And I wanted to have it in this kind of close area so we can really talk to each other. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a good afternoon, and keep strong, ladies and gentlemen. Please do keep strong.